to understand, when you fail to understand what you're up against, that becomes a problem. Let's go to the issue with regard to restructuring. They've waved this idea before you, and we are too quick to dismiss issues. We are too quick not to pay attention. There was news yesterday and today about the house, the fire in Asarok, and I laughed. And then some said that the whereabouts of Buhari is unknown. I said, which Buhari? They told you the other day he's in transition. And they're fighting tooth and nail to find a way to tell you what they failed to tell you, that he's been dead since 2017. And the next information they'll give you, oh, he died in Asarok due to the fire. They are finding very, very fine way to tell you because they lied to you. They have been telling you he's there. And presidency, Mr. President, you don't see him. You never see him. And now we are confirming what our leader has been telling you since 2017. The guy there is not him. I bet we don't listen. Just like you will not listen to what we are going to play to you. But the youth is over to you. You've had this before, but today we'll discuss it in detail so that you will know.
FR for doing us the honor of attending this event. I think that when he was in power, relationship between him and us,
first of all, let me tell you, Daily Trust is the one that instigated this dialogue of restructuring. And I laughed. Why Daily Trust? Fulani newspaper. They dictate to you. They tell you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. We shall never allow you to understand who you are. You are the willing tool. We can never allow you even to rule yourself. And this is their plan.
It has not been a very easy one. But it does show that he understands that a lot of these things are not done out of malice. I think it is about a relationship between truth and power. And I would venture to say that were he to ask the current occupants of the villa, he will find that the relationship is not much different.
Current occupiers of the villa, how many of them? Since Jonathan left office, how many occupiers? How many? The presidency. You heard what Aisha told you. That some people have taken over. Are there no men left in the zoo? You had her ask that question. And Mr. Speaker just told you, since Jonathan left office, the occupiers of the villa.
Indeed, just as he's here to attend our occasion, I do look forward to some of my friends in the villa that when they leave power, will all come back to doing these things again, to being together again. So, Mr. President, thank you for coming. Thank you, distinguished speakers, John Nwodo, Atahiru Jega, the special guests that represent various groups, to thank also our online audience, people who are not able to join us because of the special nature of the situation we're in, and even the wider television audience out there who are watching what we are doing today. Now, even without the COVID-19 pandemic and a second recession in 5 years, Nigeria is a very troubled country. There is widespread dissatisfaction in the land, but then perhaps it's fair to ask, when have Nigerians ever been satisfied? Also, if it is any comfort to us, to all of us, let me say that we are not alone in our despair as a country. We're in the good company of Trump's USA, Brexit, Britain.
Listen very carefully. He is comforting you that the mess they have made, you shouldn't be angry. That there are other countries. These countries are far ahead. You cannot even compare them to you. As you will understand as it goes on. And this is why we called this panel today, to microscopically look at what these people have been doing and what they are saying. They will never leave you alone. They are agents that are working against your progress. They are foreign agents that have foreign interests in mind other than yours.
Post-election Ghana, COVID challenged South Africa, and actually even Bobby Wine's Uganda and Tunisia after the Arab Spring. But I think that what is special about Nigeria is that while the natives are permanently restless, there is no sense of urgency from their government. Let me qualify that a little by saying that when it is threatened, as during the EndSARS protest we saw recently, the Buhari government can go into overdrive.
By killing people, by sending SARS and the bandits to kill people, they went into overdrive. They don't want to change. They don't want your progress. I'm glad he's the one saying it. But you don't have a president. But you have one that can go into overdraft. And the bandits are everywhere. Kidnapping everywhere. They told you they ended SARS and you still have SARS patrolling, kidnapping people that will lie and continue to lie. No single truth. And once you say the truth, they come after you.
The ministers back to their constituencies. But then matters quickly return to the old normal. Oh. The default positions is to wait on events, issue press statements in response to recurring outrages, display pictures of meetings and briefings on television, and repeat promises of better days to come. But in the seeming absence of systematic planning and diligent follow-up, small gains are lost and progress is stalled. This lack of vision and vigor has affected everything including dealing with urgent national issues, one of which is the agitation for restructuring, which is the subject of our discussion today. I think you will recall that during its campaigns, the ruling party pledged to introduce constitutional changes that will establish what was called true federalism. Indeed, it even set up a committee headed by Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State, which in its own recommendations accepted many of the popular ideas of restructuring, including state police, revised formula of revenue sharing, and the abolition of the local government tier, as we know it today. According to Chief Shogun Oshoba, a gentleman you recall was the former governor of Ogun State, and one of the leading lights of the APC, the El-Rufai report was actually discussed, adjusted, and adopted at all levels of the party, including the all-powerful National Executive Committee. But not much has been heard about the El-Rufai report since the APC was re-elected to a second term, I think about 2 years ago now. Indeed, Oshoba said that he's shocked that, and I'm quoting him here, that some people sat on the report, which in actual fact had gone through all the organs of the party, which had in attendance the president and the governors. This is the end of quote. Well, there is another election coming soon to Nigeria, and I think the APC has to decide what to do with this hot potato. We at the Daily Trust are making our own contribution to this by putting together this exceptional panel, which has both depth and breadth to offer such insights and ideas. It is to be chaired by the former president, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who, as you recall, did convene the 2014 Constitutional Conference, but left office before he could implement his report.
Did you hear him clearly? Did you hear him clearly? The game is over. That game is over. We cannot recycle foolishness over and over again. Daily Trust, you and your Fulani newspaper, go and sit at one corner. You chased Jonathan out of office. The restructuring you are talking about is what took the lives of Biafrans, over 6 million. Why now? You will see as we go on.
We will soon hear from Chief Ayo Adebanjo, who is perhaps the oldest practicing politician in Nigeria, in my reckoning. He was born in 1928 and has been in the Zikis movement, in the Action Group, and currently in the Pan-Yoruba Afenifere as one of his leaders. So the chief has lived through some of the finest and ugliest moments of Nigerian history. From the constitutional processes, the struggle for independence, party politics, civil war, military rule, and the return to democracy. I think it is a very rare thing to reach 90 years, which he has, and rarer still to be involved in the politics of your country into ripe old age. Chief John Nwodo has just finished his tenure as the 9th president of the Ohanaeze Indibo, the socio-cultural group that represents the interests of the Igbos in Nigeria and I think worldwide.
That's not true.
He was a minister of the Federal Republic twice. I think the first time as a strapling young man, if I recall well, under President Shehu Shagari, which is nearly 40 years ago. And
address these issues. We have a duty, Southern and Middle Belt.
Was a fool.
Has already explained who he is. Everybody knows so much about.
They will raise issues that they think are relevant, and we will hear words of wisdom from them. We may even live here better citizens. The question is whether that will translate into a collective resolve to build a better Nigeria. Thank you very much.
But I acknowledge the presence of eminent leaders, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I commend the Daily Trust Media Group for keeping up with this dialogue series for the past 18 years. As a media organization, you have been doing a lot to contribute to nation building. But let me admit that some of your editorials are sometimes tough on leaders. And the chairman of the board also attests to that. And I can remember that I also have a good share of it when I was in office. I understand that Hall was in a bid to guide the efforts towards building a greater country for us all. And as leaders, we have a duty and responsibility to listen to all voices, no matter how bitter some might sound to us. Today, you have brought us together to have a conversation on restructuring, which is one of the major issues in our national discourse. And I commend the paper presented by the chairman of the board. I'm happy that the discussants here are eminent personalities that will do justice to the topic. I commend the Daily Trust Media Group for bringing these eminent Nigerians together to brainstorm on this topical issue that has seized the attention of our country. Chief Ayo Adebanjo, I didn't say much again because the report chairman has already explained who he is. A leader of the Afenifere, prominent member of the Zekis movement, attended most of our conferences that were conferences designed to shape this country. Chief John Nia Wodo, just left the Indigo Cultural Organization as the national president, and now the leader of the Southern and Middle Belt Forum. We commend you and congratulate you for this your new assignment. Of course, Atairu Ahmadu Jega, because he was the chair of INEC, so everybody knows so much about him, because he's a professor of political science, so I know it will lead us through. And when he was the president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, it was a period when civil society confronted the guns, so he knows it all. The concept of restructuring is not new to us as Nigerians. Before the Civil War, Nigeria operated with 4 regions. At the onset of the war, General Yakubu Gowon, then head of state, thought that running Nigeria under the regional structure posed a threat to the unity and sovereignty of our country. So he opted to restructure Nigeria into 12 states. There were not mixed reactions for and against across the nation or our people. But at the end, the 12-state structure remained. What General Yakubu did in a war situation preserved our nation and saved us from disintegration. A nation is an organic being whose life is characterized by reforms, adaptation, and structural changes. At independence in 1960, the population of Nigeria was about 45 million. And our early leaders and the British colonial government decided that the young nation was too vast and complex to be governed centrally from Lagos. Thus, they bequeathed a federal system of government with strong regional autonomy and a unifying central government. This arrangement was also accepted and reaffirmed by the Republican Constitution of 1963. 61 years after independence, our population is now estimated to have exploded to over 200 million people. In the same vein, the call for restructuring has continued to grow and is growing louder every day. Within these 6 decades, our political space has assumed many colorations. We have gone from the 3 regions to 36 states and 774 local government councils. And we moved away from when the different regions have a different arrangement to manage the local government level to a unified local government system across the country. Yet, all that did not seem to have provided an answer to the questions on the administrative structure of our country and how best it should be governed. As president, I had the privilege of celebrating our nation's Golden Jubilee in 2010 and the centenary of our amalgamation in 2014. When we were to celebrate these milestones, some Nigerians challenged our intentions, arguing that the amalgamation was faulty. They insisted that there were no reasons to celebrate because they believe that the amalgamation has not helped the growth of our country. My belief is that all nations have their unique history. Professor Jiga will tell us, as a professor of political science, the amalgamation is not the problem, by my belief. Rather, there was too much emphasis on divisive politics, and this has greatly affected our nation's unity. It was the need to address these issues that my administration elected 6 years ago to convene the 2014 National Conference, which I inaugurated on March 17, 2014 in Abuja, for the specific purpose of addressing some of the issues that have been agitating the minds of our people. As a country, we have our peculiar challenges, and we should devise means of solving them. But we should not continue to vent our spleen on the amalgamation. As Shakespeare in Julius Caesar said, the fault is not in our stars, but in ourselves. My conviction is that discussion on restructuring will not help except we restructure our minds, because some of the challenges or some of the challenging issues at the national level still exist at the state and local levels. In Nigeria, it's very easy for people to point at the central government because I was there and I felt the pulse. But sometimes what is happening at the center also happens at the state level, at the local government level, and sometimes even in our communities. There are some states that, based on the part of the map of the state that you come from, or the language you speak, or how you worship your God, you can't even try to contest election as a governor. Nobody will even look at you. Go through how how states conduct their local government elections. For example, in this country, the guy will know more because he was the chair of IRM. There are some states that when the national electoral body conduct the general elections, opposition parties could win some seats in the state assembly. They could win some seats in the National Assembly, both House of Rep and Senate. But when we get to the local elections that the state governors will conduct, those parties that probably even have one senator and some 2-3 members of House of Rep and some 5 members of the state assembly can't even win a councillorship seat. Not to talk about a chairmanship seat. Do we need restructuring to solve that anomaly? And how do we restructure to make sure that those things don't happen again? This shows that restructuring alone may not solve all the anomalies in our system. I believe that restructuring for a better nation is good, but there are other fundamental issues we should also address. We cannot restructure in isolation without tackling the challenges that polarize our nation. These include nepotism, ethnic and religious differences, as well as lack of patriotism. The issues of tribe and religion have continued to limit our unity and progress as a nation. Let me tell you a bitter experience. I cannot say a bitter experience, but funny conversation I had with a teacher. He happens to be one of my former students. And as I left office, I was free, so more people can come to me. And he said, Mr. President, what we are seeing in some of the schools, especially around Abuja and some of these areas, is that sometimes, even at the primary level, it's so difficult for Muslim children and Christian children to sit together and play. There is this kind of mutual suspicion. It may not be happening in all the schools, but the teacher told me, and I felt it because I know most of us here who attended schools in those days, primary school and secondary schools, that Muslims and Christians stay together and there are no mutual suspicion. You don't see any of them as an enemy. And it reminds me some time ago when I read a short story by late Gabriel Okara on children literature. A short story titled Little Snake and Little Frog. And that story goes that there was a day the little frog, the baby frog and the baby snake went to play and they enjoyed themselves playing. And both of them went home. And when Mama Frog asked Little Frog, who did you play with? I said, oh, I played with a little snake. Then Mama Frog warned, look, those are the people that eat us. Don't play with, when you see them, run away. And when the baby snake went home, the mama snake also asked, who did you play with? And the baby snake said, I play with Little Frog. And the master said, that is our food. When next you see, just eat it. The following morning, baby frog and baby snake went out again. They met somewhere. From a distance, baby frog stopped. Was no longer moving. Now baby snake said, come, let us play, come. Then the baby frog said, no, what your mom told you, my mom also told me. And baby frog turned back and started running back home. Some of our conversations in this country is taking the dimension of baby frog and baby snake. We are making our children to hate themselves instead of our children coming together collectively to build a nation. Leadership is like giving care to a sick person. Society and individuals are almost the same. If you have major problems, sometimes the drugs doctors will prescribe at the first level of treatment will be different as we continue to progress and improve. So it's nation building. I would like to refer us to the experiences of 2 African countries which attempted to tackle the problem of diversity from a different perspective than ours at independence. Tanzania under the leadership of Julius Nyerere and Ghana under Kwame Nkrumah. I may not go to specifics because there are professors of political science here. They went to the extreme to advocate one-party state, which leaned towards the left. They were first a bit to the left. Both leaders emphasized strong national governments to promote national unity and patriotism, which departed from our own regional approach, which was based on strong regional parties and political competition for power between the regions. From independence, the struggle was, politics was based on regions. And there was this tension, it's a dynamic duo between the regions who will produce the national leaders. And that is still haunting us till today. Let me state for the record that I strongly oppose both the philosophy and the idea of one-party state. No, I don't believe that is the best. As well as a unitary system of government as a situation, as a solution to ethnic and cultural diversity. That cannot solve the problems. I believe that federalism and liberal multi-party democracy offer by far the best opportunities for good governance in a multi-ethnic nation like Nigeria. Yet, it is obvious that the initial emphasis of Tanzania and Ghana on promoting national unity, patriotism among citizens, and strong national parties that cut across ethnic, regional, and religious divides, and leadership orientation that promotes fairness, justice for all, and love of country have helped both Ghana and Tanzania in their journey of nationhood. It has helped them to better manage some of the extreme ethnic and religious divisions that have dampened the unity and progress of our own country. I remember last October I was in Tanzania. I led the African Union team to observe their elections. And I had a conversation with the foreign minister, a cerebral professor of law, quite a senior person. And he told me, we were looking at the Nigerian structure and the Tanzanian structure. I said that he worked with Julius Nyerere, that sometimes some people don't know why Julius Nyerere opted for a one-party state. That was at that time, Tanzania was a very complex country, so many tribes, so many languages. And they have two major religions, Christianity and Islam. In Tanzania main area, Christianity and Islam is almost like 50-50. But Zanzibar, which is a semi-autonomous part of Tanzania, Muslims are just about 80 or even 80-something%. Christians have lived less than 20%. So you have that kind of structure. So that Julius Nyerere said he was going to do two things to unite his country. First was one-party state. That if he takes multi-parties, some parties will take religious angles and polarize the country based on religion. Some parties will take ethnic lines and will polarize the country based on ethnicity. Then the second thing he did was, these multiple languages they were speaking will not help them. And that he has to encourage one major language. And luckily for him, which in Nigeria we don't have, we have Pan-East African language, the Swahili. So encourage the teaching of Swahili at the primary and the secondary level, to the extent that all their textbooks were translated into Swahili. So Swahili and English become the lingua franca, and they emphasize more on Swahili that is even spoken by some of the tribes. So everybody now speaks Swahili. So in national conversation, they use Swahili. Even if you go to observe election, anybody, you can talk with anybody if you understand Swahili. Some after finishing secondary school, they are not even so fluent in English, but everybody speaks Swahili. So that was an answer format in dealing with my presentation. One, why should we restructure? We should restructure because the constitutional history of Nigeria shows that the only constitutions of the Federal Republic of Nigeria made by all the ethnic groups in Nigeria were the 1960 and 63 constitutions. In 1954, the Lillington Constitution made regional governments independent of the central government in respect of subjects and legislative powers allocated to them. It also established a unicameral legislature for the federal government and each of the three regional governments. Lagos was taken out of control of any regional government and made the Federal Capital Territory.
Regional public services were established in each of the three regions. The judiciary was reorganized so as to establish regional judiciaries, while autonomy was granted to the southern Cameroons, which up to 1954 was part of a larger Nigeria and the northern Cameroons. For the first time, ministers were given specific portfolios. The Lillian Constitution thus became the transition instrument to Nigeria's independence in 1960, under a federal structure with democratically elected federal and regional legislatures. From July 25th to 26th of 1963, a National Constitutional Conference was held in Lagos. This conference led to the enactment of the 1963 Constitution. The Constitution replaced the position of Governor General appointed by the British monarch under the 1960 arrangement with the position of a president elected directly by members of the Nigerian Federal Legislature. In place of the Privy Council, the Federal Supreme Court became designated as the final appellate judicial authority over any person or matter in Nigeria. Between 1979 and 1999, Nigeria's democracy was overthrown in a military coup in January 1966. Between 1966 and October 1979, Nigeria was ruled by three military regimes. The last one under General Obasanjo bequeathed Nigeria with a presidential constitution which overthrew our parliamentary system of government. The constitution was drafted by 49 members out of 50 members of the Constitution Drafting Committee. Their final draft was reviewed and amended by the Armed Forces Ruling Council that issued a decree enacting it into law. During Generals Babangida and Abacha's military administrations, there were some amendments to the Constitution which were not carried into a civilian democracy until General Abdusalami Abubakar assumed office and appointed a Justice Nikki Toby committee, which after a tour of the country made a draft constitution, which is Supreme Military Council of 24 officers, chosen without recourse to geographical representation, amended as they pleased, and promulgated into law. That constitution is now the law that is in use in Nigeria. The 1999 constitution is therefore adjudged by many legal experts as not untouched on us. This means that it is not derived from the people. It was not made by their elected representatives. It was not subjected to a plebiscite or referendum. In law, it is not cognizable as a legal constitutional document, yet it remains the ground norm, our source of binding authority as to how our country should be governed. The 1999 Constitution overthrew the sovereignty of regions over their natural resources and domestic security, unleashing in the process an unprecedented fall of educational standards, domestic security, and economic well-being. Under the 1960 Constitution, the three and subsequently four regions of Nigeria were viable and promoted sustained development in all sectors of the economy. In northern Nigeria, groundnut pyramids grew exponentially, cotton mills, tin, animal husbandry, and grains thrived. Ahmadu Bello University grew into a repeatable university, boasting of one of the best architectural faculties in Africa. In western Nigeria, cocoa production flourished and financed free education at all levels, leading to the establishment of University of Ife with the internationally renowned pharmacy department. The first television station in Africa was established at Ibadan, and the first stadium in Africa in the same city, Ibadan. Import substitution industries grew, extending to Lagos, and increasingly became the industrial hub of West Africa. In eastern Nigeria, the first iron and steel complex in Black Africa was built in Enugu. The second cement factory in Kalago, the first glass factory in Emene, the second beer brewery in Umuahia, and two sorting plants in Onitsha and Enugu. An American-oriented University of Nigeria grew, threatening the pioneer status of University College Ibadan, which is my alma mater, then a campus of University of London. Military rule and imposition of non-federal constitution changed all that. The unity system of government destroyed competition among regions. It led to a scramble for our collective resources and the foundation of unbridled corruption in government. Quota, as opposed to merit, became the primary consideration for appointment to public offices, to the extent that it was enshrined in our constitution. States and local governments which did not reflect any demographic equality, were created and used as yardstick for representation in the legislature and the executive. Nigeria began to slide. The following examples will jolt you. Last year, the World Poverty Clerk described Nigeria, and I quote, Nigeria's population in extreme poverty has risen by 5.7 people per minute. And as the country with the most people living in extreme poverty in the world, at 82 million people living in extreme poverty, thereby overtaking India, which was previously the world's country with the most extreme poverty. Second example, Nigerian economy has grossly underperformed relative to her enormous resource endowment and her peer nations. It has the 6th largest reserves in the world, oil reserves in the world, gas reserves, sorry. It is endowed in commercial quantities with about 37 solid mineral types and has a population of over 170 million people. Yet economic performance has been rather weak and does not reflect these endowments compared with emerging Asian countries, notably Thailand, Malaysia, India, China, Indonesia, that were behind Nigeria in terms of GDP per capita in 1970. These countries have now transformed their economies and are not only miles ahead of Nigeria, but are also major players in the global economic arena. In 2017, a Japanese, Oshimaya Nag, an Indian, writing in worldatlas.com, ranked Nigeria as the world's greatest producers of cassava with 47.4 million tons, followed by Thailand with 30.2 million, and Indonesia with 23.9 million tons, and Brazil with 21.4 million. Cassava is the basis of a multitude of products, including food, flour, animal feed, ethanol, alcohol, starches, fossilizing paper and textile, sweeteners, prepared foods, and biodegradable products. In none of these exports is Nigeria a leading exporter. Instead, Nigeria is a huge importer of ethanol made out of cassava. Nigeria is the 2nd largest grower of tomatoes in Africa, coming after Egypt. Notwithstanding this, we are the highest importer of tomato puree in Africa. Nigeria is the 3rd largest grower of cattle in Africa and the largest grower in sub-Saharan Africa, with an estimated annual production of 19.8 million cattle. Cynthia Ebobo, writing in Business Day, July 6, 2019, reports that Nigeria spends 1.3 billion annually on importation of dairy products like milk, yogurt, and cheese. She quoted Bello, Nigeria's then Permanent Secretary for Ministry of Agriculture, who at the 4th Global Dairy Conference of Africa in Abuja, said, and I quote, Nigeria produces 13% of dairy in West Africa and 0.01% of global dairy at the production capacity of 50,000 liters daily, less than 20% of local potential. Nigeria is also the world's 6th producer of crude oil in the world. In spite of this, NNPC reported that Nigeria consumes between 55 million and 60 million liters of petrol every day, and that the federal government is expected to spend 750.8 billion on petrol subsidy in 2020. In March 2019, Punch newspapers published that Nigeria spent 2.95 trillion to import petroleum motor spirit, also known as petrol, in 2018. This was an increase of 50% from the previous year. Data from the Pipelines and Product Marketing Company, a subsidiary of NNPC, indicates fluctuating monthly consumptions. In January 2018, PMS import averaged 56.5 million liters per day. In February, it jumped to 8.4 million liters per day. In March, it stood at 66.8. In April, 70.7 million. May, 36.7 million. 34.5 million in June. 36.5 million liters per day in July, and 58.4 in August, and 59.8 in September. These fluctuations had nothing to do with changes in domestic demand. They were largely attributable to cross-border smuggling because of dishonesty, poor border security, and differential in price between Nigeria and other neighboring countries, making it difficult to sanitize our fuel supply and distribution metrics. This high cost of importation and high subsidy payments to make pump price affordable is a sad story of a country that, in spite of being the sixth largest producer of crude oil, cannot produce petrol at an affordable price nor prevent subsidized and imported fuel from being smuggled into neighboring countries and sold at higher prices. Looking at our economy holistically, the following indicators between 2014 and 2018 tell our performance history. In terms of foreign capital investment, we dropped from $5 billion in 2014 to $2 billion in 2018. Unemployment grew from 6% to 23% between 2014 and 18. Inflation from 8 to 11%. GDP growth fell from 6 to 2%. Debt to GDP rose from 12% to 25% and now 35.1. Oil revenue to GDP grew from 7.6 in 2008 to 8.73 now. Debt service to revenue grew from 27% in 2004 to 60 in 2018 and 99 today. Bloomberg Economics African Performance Rank gave us a positive from 12th, negative from 12th country to the 25th. World Bank Ease of Doing Business was the one we did well, from 147 to 14th. World Economic Forum Competitiveness from 127th country to 115. And Transparency International Corruption Perception Index, we fell from 136 to 144.
And you're still talking about one Nigeria. Thank you for the statistics. And this is why that name, Nigeria, must disappear overnight. It is a cause. It's a taboo. You listen to Jonathan. I will get the panel and we deal with it. That's why I said let every human being in the zoo listen to it. And you are still talking about Nigeria. Why Nigeria? Look at the statistics Nyanwodo was giving you. You are not progressing. And you are talking about restructuring. Referendum and disintegration is the only solution. Stop kidding yourself.
This new nation called Nigeria shall be an extension of the estate of a great father, Usman Dan Fodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of government. We must use the people of the Middle Belt as willing tools and the people of South as conquered territory, and never let them rule over us. Never let them control their own future. Speech by Sir Ahmadu Bello on 12th October 1960. Gentlemen of the press and great people of Yoruba land and Nigeria, we welcome you to this epoch-making section convened to brainstorm on how to safeguard the security of lives and properties of our people in Lagos State and by extension Yoruba land and the state of Nigeria. We are in this precarious situation today because we have ignored the facts and counsel of history. When the British planned the amalgamation of the northern and southern protectorates to create Nigeria in 1914, their express intention was to make the rich resources of the South serve the interests of the
Okay. Now we are ready. Jonas, I can't give me a second. Give me a second. It is a shame that we will be going through this, and nobody seems to know the right thing to do. It is a shame. How come nobody has thought about telling these people that Nigeria is not working? That name Nigeria, is a cause. It is a cause. And we don't seem to take it very seriously. We don't seem to take it that we are not going anywhere. And why do we continue actually to talk about Nigeria? That name alone is what people should run away from. People are supposed to run away from that name, Nigeria. Once you mention it, you take off running. Don't look back. Don't even think of mentioning it to somebody. But you see people, you listen to Jonathan. You listen to Jonathan. And he basically told you that there is nothing like Nigeria. And that's what we are supposed to understand. Telling us about restructuring, the very thing that claimed millions of lives. The very thing that claimed millions of lives. That's what today you are coming back to talk about restructuring. It is. Is Jonas there? And Rabbi there? Okay. Welcome. Yes, I brought all of you together. I put this up so that you'll see what these people are doing when they come to put back things that are the ones killing us. There's something I have to point out, that the U.S. flouting diversity being our strength, which is our worst enemy. I want our people to understand. I want our people to be free to reason. Because when our leaders insult people, we don't know why. And I think this will give them the reason to think. There is no need to talk about Nigeria. That name should be buried. Nobody should talk about Nigeria. Division, total, complete division. Arewa, Oduduwa, Middle Belt, Biafra. You wipe out the whole problem. You saw the statistics of war. That will tell you that Nigeria is a disgrace. Gentlemen, I'd like you to take the topic and let's deal with it. Who goes first?
Mazi Jonathan goes first. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. This is Mazi Jonathan Chinedu of Radio Biafra House of Service. Thank you very much, Mazi Alozie, for inviting me in this platform. Honestly speaking, what you said, that is, the normal thing. What is that? The total destruction of that Nigeria, that name called Nigeria. First of all, if I may start, because, as I always say, they used to deceive people through their ways of speaking English. I had my word of speaking, making endless lists, this and that. I call it senseless storytelling or storytelling. You see, the first, let me start from the beginning. Malam Kabiru Yusuf. He first of all started by saying that he apologized. Is it a kind of apology or just telling Jonathan that, look, it's not personal. When he was in power, there was animosity. It's not something personal, but he said he's speaking truth to power. So now that is hypocrisy, because right now I think somebody, Rabbi, please, you can mute. If we are not speaking, we mute so that it doesn't echo back. So, what am I saying? This man said during the time of Jonathan, they themselves, they were speaking truth to power. Why won't they be speaking truth to power today? Let me start let Mohammed Buhari, when he took over power in 2015, he first of all steered the storm normally. If this man that say he is speaking truth to power, what was their reaction? And what do I mean? When he talked about carrying his government will be an apartheid regime, he said it openly that he is not going to treat those that gave him 97% of their votes the same way, or he's not going to give those that gave him 5% of their vote with the same way he treats those that gave 97% of their vote. Where was this man? What did he say about it? If he said that he is talking truth to power or speaking truth to power. So all these are, ploys. He said it's not personal. It's about personal. It's personal. Now, what happened to the 2014 National Conference? After spending billions of naira, what happened to it? Everything was swept under the carpet. And the man also, because I want to start from the beginning, this Malam Kabiru Yusuf, he also said that he talked about upcoming election, what APC is going to do about this with this hot potato. Now he referred to it as hot potato. You understand? So now that is why when I see people talking about 2023 Igbo presidency, I laugh, because these are highly ignorant people. There is hot potato, they want to hand it over to somebody, or to some group of people. It's a death trap, so that you will fail and fail forever and keep quiet forever. That is what these people that are looking only on their own direct interest, selfish interest, they don't care about others. That is what they want. This man referred to the upcoming 2023 election as hot potato. You need to understand what hot potato is. That is another thing. Now, if I will come, I will speak a little bit about what Goodluck Jonathan said, our former president. First of all, he called Nigeria a nation. Nigeria is not a nation. Nigeria is a contraption. Nigeria is never a nation. Even he mentioned it that nation is organically formed. Nigeria is never organically formed. That is one thing. He praised Gowon for his war of aggression in the case of preserving Nigeria. That is another thing. He said he created 12 states in order to save Nigeria by destroying more than 5 to 6 million lives. So anything you can do to save Nigeria is okay. And Nigeria, when he also talked about, mentioned Tanzania. It's just like what I treated yesterday. about Rwanda. People are always deceived because of lack of knowledge. Let me tell you, Tanzania is just 2 nations before Tanganyika. Is Tanganyika before, that was the name. And what do you call it?
That was Tanganyika.
Zanzibar.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's an archipelago, group of islands. They were different nations, ruled differently, but they merged together after having independence in 1961. I think 1962, they agreed to merge themselves together to form Tanzania. That is it. And from that beginning, look, Julius Nyerere, he's a very wise person. They have Tanzania in his heart as a country. That is why he was able to usher in one-party system in order to, no matter who you are, no matter anything, see yourself first as a Tanzanian. At that early time, it's very good, it's very important. Because once his argument, yes, is very right, because once he formed multi-party system in the name of democracy, people will now continue seeing their parties using ethnic lines. Yeah. It is what happened in Nigeria. You understand? So he need to first of all merge the country because he is knowledgeable about it. Now compare it to
Jonathan.
Yeah,
Jonathan, hold on a second. You're referring to Nyerere. You refer to Nyerere and one-party system, and then you are looking at the APC. And they have their sister or brother party PDP, which is absolutely the same party. Instead of the one-party system, let's say it is APC, instead of them making it obvious that it's one-party system, why do they indulge in killing other people from other regions? You see?
Let me I will come when I make my point, people will be clarified. Everything will be answered. Listen. This man, Julius Nyerere, he had a very, he has a very good point in turning Tanzania into a one-party system. Because Tanzania had about 200 and something languages and ethnic groups, this and that. It's okay. Because he had the heart of Tanzania. But listen, compare it to Nigeria at that early time. I'm not even coming to this APC and PDP. No. Let me tell you one thing. Nigeria was handed over to Tafawa Balewa, who was the first premier of Nigeria. Somebody that never even wanted independence. You understand? And him and Ahmadu Bello, they have never one time talked about Nigeria. They were talking about northern region, because they wanted to protect their caliphate. That is the only thing. They were forced into Nigeria by the British. People should understand this. So that when all these people are going, one thing I see in all this politics is what is lying. They lie to people what they want people to hear. But when we talk about reality, facts and figures in history, we should get things straight. Had it been that somebody like Ahmadu Bello had the heart of Julius Nyerere in making sure that, even this, no matter that it's amalgamated creation in Nigeria, let us, embrace it and form it. He would have done something like Julius Nyerere have done. But right from beginning, these people never had the heart of being in one Nigeria. I'm telling you about Ahmadu Bello and Tafawa Balewa. That is why their the political party of Ahmadu Bello, that was Northern People's Congress. Do you know where it was formed? It was a Northern socio-cultural organization, which they called Jamia Mutema Arewa. He just transformed it. It's not even about Nigeria. He said Northern People's Congress. Now, why do we deceive ourselves about restructuring this and that? The people that have the only person, genuine person in that time, that clique, that was talking about Nigeria is Azikiwe. Awolowo was here with Nigeria and with Oduduwa. Anyone that works, that is the way he put it. But had it been, even look at the person, because when they talk about Nigeria, they speak history without really going deep. With due respect, Mazi Jonathan, good luck Jonathan, the former president, President Jonathan, he made a case whereby he fell into a trap. Had it been that Nigeria was handed over to somebody like Azikiwe, he had the heart like Julius Nyerere. Julius Nyerere didn't talk about how he want to make a Tanganyika their own side, or Zanzibar another side. But how do we take a whole country like that you amalgamated, and give it to somebody that only have the heart of Northern People's Congress, that is Northern Nigeria, maintenance of the Fulani Caliphate? That is a very big question that, historians, people should challenge and ask. Don't tell us all this nonsense. How Nigeria will be. Restructuring is too late for Nigeria. Had it been is that early time, it would have been better. But today, it is too late. That is my submission for now. I will come back later. I stand by.
Rabbi, can you take a whack at
the
topic?
Yes, I go on. I greet Biafrans all over the world, friends of Biafra, lovers of freedom. I'm Rabbi Charles, speaking from my location, co-host to Radio Biafra Middle East. I just want to, I was so somehow intrigued by what I heard from Kabiru Yusuf, yes, and some of the references he cited. He cited about, that he was aware of the widespread of dissatisfaction in Nigeria. Ever since Nigeria was created, there has never been a period when Nigerians were satisfied. Never, not at all. And he said that he's a member of, he believes in true democracy. He watched Trump getting into office. He watched Brexit. He's aware of Bobby Wine in Uganda, and made mention of true federalism and restructuring. And the question is, why should you restructure while there is no structure? There is no structure in Nigeria, and restructuring will not even come into play, as a matter of fact. I just want to, there is quite interesting thing that President Goodluck Jonathan said. I just want to the concluding part of this. Let me say this. He cited a very funny story, but look at it deeply. He said, he made mention of frog and snake relationship, the baby frog and the baby snake. You see, the baby frog and the baby snake were playing together. That time they were in the stage of innocency. They were innocent. They don't know anything. They were together playing. But when they went home, their parents spoke to them. That means the older ones, the elderlies spoke to them. The snake, he spoke to the baby snake, said, "Whom were you with?" He said, "I was with frog." "Oh, that's your food. You could have eaten it." And the mother of the frog went to spoke to the baby frog. "Well, whom were you with?" He said, "I was with my friend snake." He said, "Oh, that's your enemy. It would have eaten you up. Please, next time avoid it totally." He said, "Really, Mom?" He said, "Yeah, they kill us." Now, Goodluck Jonathan really stated it point blank. And let me explain. We know most of us that are opportune to being in so many countries, when you get into like some certain racist nations that we know today, if you go to the Netherlands, the younger Dutch people are very friendly and very open to discussion with foreign people, with foreigners, with other people from different racial background. But when they get, the only thing that young Dutch person will not do is to take you home, to introduce you to the parents. The parents will not understand that relationship. The parents will advise them never to have anything to do with you, that you are black, you are an African, that you are evil, that your main mission is to destroy them. That's what they will tell them. and they will believe it. So even if that Dutch person is totally in love with you, that person cannot take you to his home because you are not of the same race. Now, bring it back home. In Nigeria, we have history. The history of the Fulanis killing the Biafrans. We have the history of war. We have the history of ethnic division. We have the history of tribalistic tendency in Nigeria. We have the history of war, the one that took place. Now, Ojukwu and Gowon went to Aburi to discuss about the restructuring for true federalism. When they came back, what happened next? Gowon was ill-advised by the British. They are the recipient of all these things. They are the beneficiary of all our stupidity and power to. They are the one benefiting it, and other European countries. That is exactly what Goodluck Jonathan was saying, but he just put it in a little short story. Very brilliant. I never heard that story before. I want to dwell on this. Now, he went further to say that means if you, the young people of this generation, would want to live together, but the other ones have history of something that is very horrific, they wouldn't live together, they wouldn't like it. And the young people of today, of this generation, are victims. That is why you see massive joblessness in the southeastern part of the contraption called Nigeria, the region we call Biafra. You saw that there is nothing like infrastructures, no factories. The seaports are there, but they are not utilized. They shut them down. They made mention of breweries, in Kalagu cement factories, glass industries, all of them shut down. Now, Gowon brought war, and that war took almost 10 million lives of Biafrans. Now, if you tell any elderly person about Nigeria restructuring, the elderly, reasonable man will throw stone at you. I want to commend Pa Ayo Adebanjo. Let me say this. Pa Ayo Adebanjo was born 1928. In the Western world where we live today, a man or a woman born 1928 should not be contributing to anything political, but this man is brilliant. His mind is intact. He's very strong, minded person. Because why is he doing this? Because Nigeria has failed. No one could put Nigeria aright. Nigeria is run by foreign mercenaries. That is why the man who's supposed to be relaxing, washing the younger generation to pilot Nigeria directly, this man is not relaxing anymore. He's talking. That means something is critically wrong in Nigeria. Restructuring will not be an option. It will never work. The best thing in Nigeria, I'm not concluding. The best thing in Nigeria is disintegration. Apartheid in South Africa, we saw the replica of it. I'm sorry to say this, the people that conducted or masterminded apartheid in South Africa, when Mandela shut them down, they went and grabbed Nigeria. It is the same people from the same geographical locations, but they are in the background, you don't see them. It is exactly what they did in South Africa. That is what they are repeating in the contraption called Nigeria. And Pa Ayo Adebanjo to come up to speak today, in every forum he will come there. Instead of, it's just like Samuel, it's just like King Saul going to wake Samuel who died to ask him about the situation of Israel through a medium. He said, why are you disturbing me? You should have allowed me to be resting. So they shouldn't go to disturb that man all the time. But we don't have anyone else. That's why he's talking. Nigeria is a failed state. Nigeria can never be restructured. I don't want to go further until Mazi Jonathan speaks. We have to look into the Constitution. They all said cited correctly about the Constitution. There are things that is not getting right. If they carried out all this mayhem, killings, ethnic subjection, man inhumanity to man, ostracizing us and stripping their constitutional right, And they come up today and said, we want to restructure. Restructure what? What do you want to restructure? What about the life that got wasted between 67 to 70? What are you going to say? Are you talking about paying reparation to Biafrans for destruction you carried out on them? Nigeria can never survive this. Mazi, Alozie and Dewo, for now.
Thank you very much. Let me shine the light on the comment Jonathan made, especially that of Niamwood. You saw the statistics given. These are the statistics that will make you, if you have a knife, you cut Nigeria immediately, slice it with ropes. Slice it, you tie it, go your way. You slice the other one, you tie it, go your way. How can they have these statistics and they're still talking about restructuring and one Nigeria? See the enormous products that can be produced. These products can sustain any of the regions as a country. But they wasted it because everybody relied on the oil. As a result of that, they want the owners of the land dead. They slice us in pieces. This one is Ebony, this one is this, this one is that. And they are sucking us to death, wasting the revenues. And the poor gets poorer. The owners of the land abandoned. It becomes a wasteland. And then they bump our heads together. You are rivers. You are Ebony. You are Cross River. You are Kwabon. But when they will kill all of us together. From what Niamwodo said, Idea concluded, what are we actually looking for? There is nothing like Nigeria. From the information they supplied, there should be nothing called like Nigeria. Nobody should open them and say, I come from Nigeria. What have you gained from Nigeria? Except you are Fulani. The estate of your fathers as ordered by Britain. That's why I keep playing it so that you can link these events together. They have been killing and killing and killing. Look at what Niamwodo said. Refineries. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. You have refineries all over. None is working. Is that not a conspiracy? They are using you to make money. And how many years do you have the oil to last? They are bringing alternatives. We are not relying on the oil. We want to be free. Referendum and the disintegration. Anything less than a month or two will be too late, because the people you are dealing with have alternatives. And we are being used because we are foolish. We are not going to be foolish anymore. Listen to what our leader said. And listen to what the statistics Niamwodo gave. I'm glad he was the one that gave those statistics. After hearing all these things, you still call yourself a Nigerian? After hearing all these things, you still want to be a Nigerian? But look at the countries that came here and borrowed our agricultural products. Where are they today? They are very, very wealthy, showing the fruit of their labor. But Nigeria going down. And they are telling you restructuring. You go to the top, you fall to the bottom, then you want to start all over again. 100 years gone, 200 years gone, you're still answering a Nigerian. Shame. My colleagues, what do you think about the impact of the statistics given by Niamwodo? And does that not give a death knell to the existence of Nigeria? Jonathan, can you please take a peek at that?
Very much. All those statistics he brought out, quite rightly so. You know, all of us, we know that we are dying under Nigeria. Even everybody, the only people that are gaining is all these politicians. That is why they are behaving like, even the Fulani peasants, they are dying under Nigeria. Do you know why? Because if, let me say this, if everybody are given equal opportunities in order to attain their normal natural height, I mean, the sky would have been the limit for everybody. But under one Nigeria, they tell you Nigeria, they are these politicians. Now he's talking, he has served, I think he's a two-term, he have served as a minister in two different governments. All these things he's counting, he is one of the people that perpetrated them because he served in the government. You understand? This issue of not in my own tongue. Whenever they are not in power, they become angels. He was the chief of Ohanes and Dib. We saw his acts, but immediately he come out. He started doing, that is the way they behave. Now, in Nigeria, there are too much discrepancies and differences in our different capabilities as peoples and ideologies to be in one almighty mess I call one Nigeria. The only issue, some people say, no, it's not about amalgamation, as good luck Bello Jonathan said. And there lies the problem, the amalgamation. All these things they are talking today, had it been that no matter how amalgamated contraption Nigeria was, had it been they saw what Ojukwu see, or they agreed on with Ojukwu on the restructuring in 1967, that time, all these questions wouldn't have been coming up today, maybe. When he gave an example, let me go back there. When he gave an example of Tanzania, there were two different countries, Tanganyika and that had two different independence at different times. Tanganyika had independence in 1961 as Tanganyika, and Tanzania had the independence in Zanzibar had independence in 1963. But the two entities came together and said, look, it is through negotiation that they merged as one nation. Now they call themselves Tanzania, Republic of Tanzania, in 1964. Do you see that? Now tell me the history of Nigeria. Nigeria was amalgamated. It was created by a foreigner. And you are telling me, now I start asking, why must we be Nigerians? Why are we defending Nigeria? Why? It's a question that people are supposed to debate on. Why must it be, Nigeria? Why? Something that somebody created, a foreigner, and say you must be inside there. Why? Because the Fulani, they were given Nigeria as a prize. Before independence, in the 40s and 50s, when they rose the Sultanas wrote the motion for independence, Ahmadu Bello and the Tafawa Balewa, they were against it. Because they see that we have discrepancies which is still existing till today in our ideology. Some set of people are going towards the east, following Arab. They were using Arabic language. Another set of people, they believe in Sharia. They have feudal system, feudal mindset, feudal system, whereby there is master and slave mentality. That is what it means. Another set of people in the same country have free-minded as Republicans. We believe that everybody should have the same rights, equal rights, that there should be no slave and master mentality. Now tell me, how can these people be together, forced to be together? The other people that have feudal mindset, had it been they agree, or they want to change, it would have been another thing. But these people with feudal mindset, they want to convert everybody into few slaves in their system. That is the most horrible part of Nigeria. And as far as that entity, Nigeria, continues to exist, even if it is restructured, as far as that entity continues to exist, with the mindset of the Fulani, they will never allow others to rest. Because Nigeria was handed over to them. Remember, every time they quote the Fulani Caliphate, they quote is publicly. This is not something, it's factual. They used to quote that, oh, Benue, Sokoto is for them. It's for the Fulani. Under conquest, under the right of conquest. They never talk about anything but about conquest. These people, how can you change the mindset? Instead, they are changing the mindset of everybody. That is why they are turning everybody into cows. Cow is more precious than human life in Nigeria today because of what we are forced into being. That is why when I saw the submission or the post of a U.S. mission in Lagos, visiting the Sarkin Fulani of Lagos State, saying that there is diversity, there is a strength in diversity, not a weakness. I asked them, let them bring, why can't they bring Afghans, part of Afghanistan, Taliban into America and have that type of diversity? You know, the issue is this. I don't know. The only thing with Nigeria is only the crude oil, because they are mentioning every time they are mentioning, they are talking about natural resources. That is what they know. Natural resources. They don't talk about human resources, what you can do, because there are discrepancies. People in the south are ready to work to develop their brains, whereas the people in the Fulani Caliphate, which they didn't hide their feeling right from the time of the so-called independence, right from the early time. They didn't hide their feelings, and fair to them, because I love it, because they were outspoken. Ahmadu Bello said, no, I have to northernization agenda. I will initiate northernization agenda. If Nigeria is not handed over to us, we will not be part of Nigeria. And that is what Britain did. They handed Nigeria over to them. The documents of independence being handed over, supposed to be handed over to the trio, but it was handed over only to Tafawa Balewa. So let me stop here, my brother.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that Ahmadu Bello speech fits well here, which I would like people to hear. And this is why I feel we should stop deceiving ourselves as quickly as possible. The end of Nigeria should be now. Now.
The Premier replied,
in the name of God, the compassionate and the merciful, let thanks be given to God everywhere in the northern region of Nigeria for the blessing of self-government which we have received this day through his help, and for the blessing of progress which has long been a feature of our lives within this region. In our prayers, let us also beseech Almighty God for continued and peaceful progress, and for the furtherance of the prosperity and happiness of the people of this land. As I speak to you on this historic day, I am beset by many emotions. The emotion of gratitude. Gratitude to Almighty God that I have been spared to be of service to my people and to lead them towards this great event in our history. The emotion of humility, humbly conscious of my own limitations and of the pressing need for every one of us to give of his best now and in the future, even more than we have done in the past. The emotion of pride. Proud that I and my colleagues have succeeded in the face of many difficulties in the aim of acquiring self-government as soon as it was practicable. And finally, the emotion of joy. Greatly rejoicing that I can share with all of you this day an immense feeling of relief and contentment at the successful outcome of our advance towards the creation of a self-governing northern region of Nigeria.
Thank you. That's Bello. And this is Bello again. So when you are talking about...
Mazi, before you continue, before Rabbi Charles comes, have you ever had him, did you hear him speak about Nigeria? He talk about northern Nigeria,
that's why
for your information.
That's why I
Go
played
on.
it. That's why I played it. He talked about North, not Nigeria. This is why I played it. And this is Bello, the same Bello again. This is the same Bello.
One thing I've noticed, Premier, while I've been here, is that Northerners seem to have, I might almost call it, obsession about the Igbos. Could you perhaps explain that to me?
Well, the Igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village, to a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they will try to emerge as headman of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities, because you can see from our northernization policy that in 1952, when I came here, there weren't 10 northerners in our civil service here. Then I tried to have it northernized, and now all important posts are being held by northerners.
Is this policy of filling all key posts in the north solely with northerners and not with other Nigerians a temporary or permanent one?
In actual fact, what it is a northerner first. If you can't get a northerner, then we take an expatriate like yourself on contract. If we can't, then we can employ another Nigerian, but on contract too. This is going to be permanent, I should say, as far as I can foresee, because it will be rather dangerous to see the number of boys who are now turning from all our learning institutions coming out with having no work to do. I'm sure whichever government of the day might be, it will feel rather embarrassed, and it might even lead to bloodshed.
Doesn't this damage the idea, sir, of all people in all regions in Nigeria being fellow citizens of one country?
Well, it might, but you are, new to our region, but how many northerners are employed in the east or in the west? The answer is no. And if there may be 10 laborers employed.
The answer is no. Nothing like Nigeria. You had him.
Regions.
It is disgusting for people to, as of 2021, to be mentioning Nigeria and be talking about restructuring. This has been a long-laid foundation, and it is playing out today. Mazi, Rabbi, can you please, Mazi Rabbi, can you please take over from here, from where Mazi?
Yes. Thank you very much, Mazi Alozie. This Ahmadu Bello's clip, the last one you played, is the one that turned most of us mad, especially Mazi Chukwu Emmanuel. You can remember. He doesn't like to hear that.
Of course.
It makes him upset. Like so many of us. You with that clip, with what that man said, you can see that Biafrans are not included in this. Oduduwas are not included in that Nigeria thing. Middle Belt, they are not included in Nigeria. Nigeria was given to the Northerners by the British to handle Nigeria and return the proceeds to them. That's what exactly they are doing. And I said earlier on that the nation that triggered apartheid in South Africa is the one that is causing this mayhem in Nigeria, the contraption right now. It was Britain that created that problem in South Africa. I am privileged, not privileged, opportune to be part of the system there. I saw it. I further went to the Netherlands to get some certain things, and I saw exactly how they are faring. How can you tell me that in a country they do things by quota system? That means your knowledge, your intelligence does not count. What counts is quota system. And by quota, they can tell you the number of people they will take from your region and the one they will take from the northern region and the western region. That's how they do it. It's just like the archaic way. Remember in those days when you want to go to school, they will tell you to put your arm above your head so that it will touch your ears, or your ear rather. So when it touches your ear, then you are due to go. But remember, there are those that are called how did they say it in Igbo? Ebutaka. They don't have rapid growth. They add height a little bit and stop and develop. Then they add again. Now, if you are in such category, that means you will not go to school because they will think you are a small baby while you are a grown person. That is the system they were using and are still using in Nigeria. Now, the quota system is there to stop Biafran development, and religious system as well plays vital role. President Goodluck rightly said that if you are some certain religious background on certain tribe, you may not do well in politics, or you definitely not gonna do well in politics, in Nigerian politics. Was he correct? Yes, he was correct. You are not going to do well because the system was structured to disadvantage you, especially those from the south. You are not going to go anywhere with Nigeria. You won't succeed. That's why many Biafrans and so many other groups from that contraption moved out of that contraption, and they are now in foreign countries and doing significantly well, achieving so many results, because system in foreign countries give many of us opportunity to develop. With Nigeria, you cannot develop. They systematically put that in there to bring you down at all time, at all cost. And that is what our leader explained last time. He said when they make the system to fail you, that they will always want to tell your woman, come, let me take you to Dubai. And when you go to Dubai, a stinking, dirty Malam will take you to Dubai because he's from the north and he has the money. And we do shopping for you when you come back, and especially those working with this mainstream media. When you see them change their wardrobes, wearing expensive glasses and some certain kind of dresses, you know that she has gone to Dubai. Her master or her sugar daddy took her to Dubai and do shopping. Now, when you complain that some certain people from that ethnic group are killing people like the herdsmen from the north, from the Fulanis, she will begin to interrogate you. Oh, how do you know? You are causing division. You are doing this. You are creating problem. You know, diversity is the strength. And the people that are saying diversity is the strength in the north, in the contraption called Nigeria, just recently exited from EU. They exited from European Union. Why? Because they said that they wouldn't want people from Brussels to handle their sovereignty. That Brussels cannot decide what happened in United Kingdom. And they did it, they fought for it. I remember the former leader of UKIP party, Mr. Nigel Farage. He fought for it. He spent many years educating the British, and when the election was conducted like referendum, they voted out and Britain left EU. Why are they not doing the same thing in that contraption? What happened to referendum? Mniawodo made it clear that in that constitution they tried to remove it. Now Mniawodo went further to cite some certain nations that rapidly developed. He cited the Netherlands. Of course, I lived in the Netherlands. I'm part and parcel of the system there. In Netherlands, they produce, like they call it adapple. Adapple is potato. That is their national food. During the war, potato was more expensive than gold. So they valued it. And they don't have all that friendly, weather. The geographical condition there is not as supersonic good like that of the one you have in the contraption called Nigeria. That is why we always say, onye njem ka onye isi awụ ihe wee mara, onye njem ka onye isi awụ ihe wee mara. Most of us were trained there. So when you are trained, we are specialists in so many things. These guys produce food in a quantum, as they always say. Look at the dairy product. You mentioned that. Why are they not allowing us to do our things? Because if they allow us to do our things, European market will not succeed. They will not thrive. That's exactly what is going on. That's why I said that these people are the one holding us down. If you go and stabilize everything, and it made mention of different kinds of energy that we have. Wind energy is there. Sun energy from solar system. The one that you recycle from the waste product. It is part of energy that can give you energy. You know, we have diversities of things that can make us great. But they would not want to have us use those things or inventing those things, because if we do it, the Chinese will not supply them that. It is the agreement they signed to patronize the contraption called Nigeria. That is why our leader is saying to us that the people that we are fighting are monsters. They are not the Fulanis. The Fulanis are their extension. It is the Western powers that are doing this to black Africans, to the contraption called Nigeria. Nyamodo went further to make mention of a lot of wonderful things, fantastic things that if we are given the opportunity, we will turn our region to paradise. And they know it. Ahmadu Bello said that Igbos are domineering. I wonder whom Igbos have dominated. I wonder whom Igbos have dominated. The thing that this man is misunderstanding it could be that Igbos are very hardworking. When he made mention of Igbos, he's not talking about those speaking Igbo language. He's talking about the Jaws, the Bibios, the Efik, and the Domas. We are all Igbos, according to how our leader explained it. Ibibio means Ibonta, the little Igbos. Somebody from Ikwere is saying that it's not Igbo. Is he not a madman? When they speak, I understand exactly what they're saying. It's different. Variation in dialect doesn't mean that we're different. So Wike is not with his right mind. Something is wrong with that man. So you can see how they are playing all these things. The apartheid system they took to South Africa. They brought it to the contraption called Nigeria, and their major attack is the Biafrans. They marginalize. I saw something they put in place, like the region. Our leader said that in Bello State, the Igbos are living there. Kogi State, Igbos are there. In other states, Edo states, Igbos are there. They are Biafrans, and we cannot leave them. So when they put the geographical structure aright, everything will begin to fall into place. I'm just trying to show us what these Western powers are doing to us. If they know that we have the capacity, we have the manpower to do it, we have the human resources to do it. Biafrans are highly educated around the world. We have everything put in place, but they are holding us down through the Fulanis. That is why I suggest my final conclusion on this is, it is not going to be just, let them go. There must be a kind of confrontation. I believe that it's option that it's not going to take out from, it's not going to be taken out from the table. The option is there. If you don't let us go, you will never have peace. Mazi, Alozie, Ndewo.
Thank you, Mazi Jonathan. This discussion, I think, if you all have a chance, we can continue tomorrow. The second part of it, where there's something I sent to you and I looked at it, it seems credible. Because piecing these things together, I see things that click. I see things that show that it is, like I told you, when they want to do something, they do it like movie, preview. They put it out there, then they withdraw. Then they put it out again, all of a sudden it becomes a bill and have passed first and second reading, and you're dealing with it. If you and Mazi Jonathan, I'm just pleading, if you can come on tomorrow, let's round up the discussion and let me give callers chance. And if you all want to be on the line and let's give them a chance, see if there's response some of you can give, because this thing is in detail. This is why I wanted to discuss it in detail for people, for those that are deaf, those that are in denial, those that are breaking their neck talking about one. There's nothing like one Nigeria. That name, Nigeria, must be buried as quickly as possible so that people will be free. Those telling you that you are unified by your diversity, the same principle they are giving you, that you are the largest democracy in Africa, that can't tell where you're headed. They are the same ones that are telling you that your largest economy, and better check the world, you are at the bottom. They are using you. And you have to free yourself. And the only way you can free yourself is bury that name. Bury that name once and for all. Please, do not call. Do not call that.
Just make my round up. I'll be listening from the app. Let me confirm to our people that the only losers, the most docile and losers in this Nigerian project are the Southerners. Southerners in general, and Biafrans in particular. That is the only thing. The Fulani, why you have Nigeria today discussing about Nigeria, even everything about Nigeria, is because it was handed over to the Fulanis, the Fulani Caliphate. I'm not talking about the North, the Fulani Caliphate. That is why we are today talking about Nigeria. Had it been Britain decided and said, no, the Fulani, no, we cannot hand you over to Nigeria, there wouldn't have been anything like Nigeria today. So we are the greatest losers. That is why, as I said before, the Fulanis, they have had a test of crude oil. Staying without working, millions and millions of dollars will be flowing into your account every minute. So how do you want to remove it from them? Saying restructuring. What about the millions of people that were killed? What are you going to do? What are you going to do them? You are urinating on their graves by talking about restructuring today. So you see that our people are the most docile and stupid in this Nigeria project. This is all I have to say. We can continue maybe tomorrow. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Rabbi, do you have anything to say in conclusion?
In conclusion, I just want to let Biafrans know that restructuring is like signing your death warrant. If this generation of ours fails to achieve this, you guys are gone. You guys are gone. If you look at what they did to us, even the time our late Dim Odimegwojuku was alive, how they were sending dead bodies in parcels. This, what they would do, would be worse than that. These people don't have any remorse at all. They are very bodacious and audacious in their evil tendencies. That's what it is. So we have to do everything possible to opt out of that contraption called Nigeria. The system has been killing our people. That system is killing you right there. For the fact that you don't have good hospitals, you don't have schools in southern region, southeast, you don't have good sewage system, you don't have constant electricity, you don't have good road network. All your seaports are shut down. No production, no development. And someone is telling you restructuring. That person must be sick. That person must be mentally deranged. The Fulanis, like our brother said, they are used to the billions and trillions they are looting from Biafran land. They want to hold it together for another 10 good years. So when their master is well stable, because they made a decision to leave EU, their master is telling them to hold on to it. Now, if we cannot achieve it now, we are all going to go. So I don't think we should let them get away with this. And besides, Fulanis and their counterparts will pay Biafran reparation for damages they did to Biafrans. Mazi and Alozie, on this note, I sign off. I will join you tomorrow. God's willing, if you invite us, we will be here to discuss more further. Thank you very much. Shalom.
Thank you. The phone lines are open. The call line is +1 484 767 0848. They have bondaged you. And the only way is to bury that name Nigeria once and for all. They are not even talking about referendum. They are talking about restructuring that caused the civil war that was waged on Biafrans for telling the truth. The Biafrans are the ones paying the price for Nigeria. And I don't think any rightful person in his right mind will get up and talk about Nigeria and one Nigeria. Caller, your name and where you're calling from. That line is dead. Let me get this call from here. That line is dead. Caller, your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, Mazi, Alozie, good evening from here.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Biafrans. My name is Pastor Jack. I'm calling from Lagos. I just want to add my voice to this discussion. It is quite unfortunate that almost the so-called intellectual inside this contraction actually understand the problem of the contraction, but they are shying away from it. Just from what Ahmadu Bello said right from the onset, not that the Igbo man or the Biafra is dominating anybody. Because he said something, he said if we put them in the camp, they will emerge from the backyard to become the captain of that particular place. That is to tell you that these people work hard and smart. They actually emerge through a process. But no, the British never wanted to see the Biafran people to take hold of their destiny. That is why everything you see happening in the contraction today, Fulani are not the one doing it. It is actually the British. They are using them as the stooge. It is only an insensible person we say, or we come out today to say, let there restructure. What are you restructuring? That our late leader, Odumegwu Ojukwu, went to Abuja Accord to negotiate, and they actually agreed with Gowon. Only for Gowon to come back, British advised him, and he reneged from that agreement. And what baffled me most is Jonathan, that you people say he has PhD, lack common understanding, by saying that Gowon opted out of the restructuring then because he wants to save the contraction, for the contraction to remain one. So good luck actually opening his mouth, justifying the killing of more than 5 million of our people because they want to keep a contraction created by Lugan and his girlfriend. It baffles me. Sometimes I wonder, when our leaders say black man is useless, how can a black man go to Europe and create a street, not just a street, let alone a country for them, and somebody come to Nigeria and say Nigeria must remain one at all costs? How regrettable. All of you, you know the problems of Nigeria. You outline them, but indeed, when you have one political position or the other, the slave masters use you against your own people. There is no other way. We have called for every legalized means of achieving Biafra. There is no other way. If these same British that actually know that freedom is good, they voted to leave the EU, and the EU granted them the referendum, and they are working to scuttle the freedom of Biafra, and some persons are joining them. I think we have been able to follow that legal process. Every legalized means and process have been followed. This very time around, every oil pipeline will be destroyed. That is the British want. They will see it. Let them come in the open and fight us, because we know they fought us, not the Fulani. This time around, nothing will remain in Nigeria. It's better that all of us no longer exist, that will remain in this perpetual slavery for the next decade or 20 years. God forbid. That is just what I just have to add this evening. Mazi, thank you from here.
Thank you very much. It is very obvious it is very obvious that the steps taken by our leader Mazi Nnamdi, what he has put in place, is what we are going to follow. You want to be a one Nigerianist, that's what's waiting for you. Whatever you see is what you get. They have no intention of allowing you to get ahead. They have no intention of allowing you to be who you want to be. Caller, your name and where you calling from. Caller, your name and where you calling from.
Yeah, Mazi.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is calling from Houston, Texas.
Welcome.
I thank Chukwu Kikabiama for the day. Thank him for what he has done for us. Thank you for this new month that we surely get victory and achieve what we want to achieve. Thank you. Thank Rabbi Shah, Jonathan, the wonderful work that you guys are doing, analyzing what is going on now. From the place you play, we have I don't know that Fulani has spoken of Nigerian. And the time passed. Now, my question is this. Are they going for restructuring? What of the life of those that have died many years ago, and those that Fulani people killed of recent? And those people, their life is deteriorating in various prisons in the dungeon called Nigeria. Are they going to restructure all of them? My sister, this that all this place, Ahmadu Bello, what he said 1960 October 12th, and the other one he said about the Igbos. Does it mean that Nigerian and co, does it mean that they haven't heard about it? Or they don't listen to those cases? Or they haven't come across the case, knowing all these plans against our people? That they don't want our people to grow. And that is why generation, because when you play that play, especially the one that Ahmadu Bello said, 1960, that they can never allow us to. Our future is not granted. That is what they say. That's what they say. But we're going to see the light. All the stuff is made. But Chukwu Kikabiama will blind him. Blind all these people organizing these atrocities against our people. We shall march victorious in the name of Chukwu Kikabiama. Another thing I want to say is this. The code, call his cohorts, going here and there, going for speaking for, they are not speaking for Igbos, they are not speaking for them, they are speaking for themselves. If they want to restructure Nigeria, let them go there and restructure on their own and stay on their own. So he's from Yoruba, he's not from Igbo. He's Ahmadu. He was the president of the students' union there. He's Ahmadu in Senegal. Let him go there and restructure. If they want to restructure, not our place. Let him not come to our place. And when he was, all of them are speaking, we do this, we achieve this, we achieve one common thing that is making a nation to move forward. Electricity. None of them is talking about 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 electricity. N They are talking about blah, 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 blah. Common thing, electricity. Nigeria is giving electricity to Togo, other neighboring countries. But in that dungeon, you can't see electricity. And that electricity, they have got it in Asoro, African. Mazi, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We look at the issues. You see, it is very funny. And when we look at what they do, it's like they are dictating to us when and how to do it. When and how to do it. And we do it comfortably. And the
hello,
welcome.
Discussion this morning is so perfect, wonderful indeed, and most of your actually of the things. So Pastor John also like to say, but one thing is very restructuring. We continue to go and make the same mistake over and over. We will not accept anything other than contraction. Everybody go their way. From the onset, even the white people knew that these people hated us. Did you see Ahmadu Bello say anything about other race other than Igbo? He mentioned it, Igbo. In other words, he knew very well that the Igbos, they hate them, they don't want them in the contraption. Okay? They don't want us there. So the point is very clear. We are tired of being killed and killed. They closed our southern borders. They closed all our seaports, and they have their only one seaport in Nigeria operating in the west. Okay, and then they open their own border to let their brothers cutting in all kinds of things, both terrorists and bags of rice, while at the same time stopping our people from having free trade across border West Africa under ECOWAS. And destroyed all our infrastructures, destroyed everything we have. Our industries that were flourishing before, they destroyed them. They even tampered with our education and just passed up. So why are we? And they're all well educated and they have the history of this country in the palm of their hand. Maybe it's like what I said. Lose their position. They have not left. Yes, you see them. Country. They have the opportunity to do it. Let them do it. Because he was also kneeling down and begging for the presidency of something that is now great. So the point is that we have all grown up and we have smarter than them. They can do to sway us from this thing we're doing. We have lost so many blood. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you very much, Ben. We look at these things and you see we are good at ignoring things. We are good at ignoring things. And I thought it would be perfect revisiting it so that we can be very conscious and aware of what is happening around us, the people they use, and what to expect from them. Caller, your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, good morning, Mazi. My name is Mazi, my man Ugo Oneja. I am the national PRO of Ipob here in the United States, and I reside here in Washington, D.C., but I am from Amibo. Amibo is in Olo. Amibo is the home of the tiger, and Amibo is the home of King Jaja of Ipob. Mazi, thank you again for all the good job you do. I thank God Almighty who brought Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to us this time, this critical time. So, Mazi, based on the restructuring thing that they were talking on the television, and based on what Wodo and all of them are saying, these are politicians, these are a bunch of idiots, bunch of hopeless idiots. It is only a foolish man who will continue to do one particular thing over and over and over and expect to get a result
thinking that there is another result, thinking that what is going to get is something that is different from this thing. There is no, it's an experiment. That is, you put water and then put oxygen. Then, to give you water. So there is no way, even if that experiment is you do it up to 10 times, more than 1,000 times, it's still going to be the same. Nigeria is gone, and Nigeria will never be the same. No two ways about it. They know it. Even the Western world know it. That there is nothing good that will come out of this country. The issue is that we have been on the receiving end. The world and all the so-called politicians, they're supposed to know what is it, what is the crime of an Igbo man, what is the crime of a Biafran, what have we done that we have to be on the receiving end every time? Why is it that we have to be intentionally, be marked out to be exterminated? What exactly have we done? What have we done that our children are the one that you see in the prison? You go to all the prison, all the jail in Nigeria. If you count the number of people out, 80% of the people in jail are Biafran children. What have we done that we have been blocked? There is nothing. Police, we put police on the road, the army on the road, the immigration people on the road, everything on the road. Why is it that we have been marked out like this? We cannot even, just like a jungle. You want a jungle, and then you put a trap everywhere in the trap. You must surely catch something. So what is it that we have done that we have been treated less than any human being in that country? What have we done? You don't have anything to say. You cannot even open up your mouth, and then you are in trouble. We don't have any judiciary. Then you go over there, and then what the judges are doing is just collecting money from us. What have we done that our children, our wives, that is the daughters, we are intentionally selected, catch, and then took our daughters to the bush, and then go and put them in the jail, in the dungeon. GSS do that, in the military did that, the police do that, they use them as a sex toy. Sex toy. Our daughters. Who else have they done this to? Have you seen where they have just got all these Fulani women together like that in the jail, or took them to go and rape? Have you seen how they have collected the Yoruba women and go and rape? Have you seen how even the Hausa or the Middle Belt people? What is it that we have done? What have we done that more than 5.5 million children of our own, nobody can give us an account of what have happened to our children? Nobody say anything. What they cannot say, what have we done? What is it? Why is it that our people are being killed? Our children are, either, they capture them on the streets where they are going, they get them and then go and put them in dungeon, and then their organs are harvested. What is it that we've done? How can they want us to live in this type of situation? What are they talking about Nigeria and the restructuring of Nigeria? And then they still come home and then they talk politics to us. God will never forgive them, these people. So that is the reason why I am calling on our brothers. Thank God Almighty for the Eastern Security Network. The Eastern Security Network is our security. The preservation of the life of the Biafrans. This is the only thing that we have. What we have is our life. That is it. And this is the reason why I have to support the Eastern Security Network. So what I'm begging my brothers, please, let it touch your heart. These people have neglected us. These people have abandoned us. These people have marginalized us. These people have just, did everything, committed any atrocity they can commit against us. They don't see us as human beings. They don't care about our survival. But please, we can never abandon ourselves. And this is the reason why we have to support Eastern Security Network. Eastern Security Network, it is your safety. It's the safety of your children, safety of your daughters so that they will not be raped, safety of your farm so that it will not be taken from you, safety of you from all these Boko Haram soldiers and the military and the police. Please, that is the reason why we have to invest in this, our security, because our security is our life, and life is the most important thing that we have. The properties we can replace. Remember what happened after the war? Nothing was given to us, but we are about to build our wealth. So that's the reason why, because we are alive. We have some of us that, we are alive. That is the reason why we are able to acquire the wealth that we acquire. So let us secure our life. And the only way we can secure our life is just really around this Eastern security. Make it the best of the best. These children that cannot sleep at night, what they do is just watch over us so that we can sleep. They watch over our business everywhere so that it cannot be burned down. They watch over our farm so that the cow, the Fulani cow cannot go and destroy our farm. Then they watch over our daughter so that it cannot be raped at any time. So please let us support. Dip your hand in your pocket, no matter how little it is. No matter how little it is, the only thing you have to do, please dip your hand in your pocket. And if you want to do this, it's very simple. It is not complicated. What you have to do is to take your smartphone. You have all the smartphone, the phone that you make calls with. Then you have data in it. The only thing you have to do is just to go to that phone and then go to the Google. Type in the Google. If you type Google, the Google will come out. What do? You just put www.ipob in USA.org/donate. www.ipob in USA.org/donate. It is very simple, not complicated. And when you do this, then it will come up and then they will ask you, what do you want to do? You say you want to donate money to the Eastern Security Network, or you want to donate money for other stuff. Then it will prompt you and it will do it easily. So www.ipobinUSA.org, www.ipobinUSA.org. If you want to make donation to ESN, you have to go to www.ipobinUSA.org. If you want to say thank you to Nnamdi Kanu, you have to go to www.ipobinUSA.org. If you want to make donation to Biafra, you have to go to www.ipobinUSA.org. www.ipobinUSA.org/donate. Very simple. If you want to make a difference in the life of the Eastern Security people, just go to www.ipobinUSA.org/donate. Thank you, Mazi, and God bless you.
God bless you too, Mazi Onejaka. The call number is +1-484-767-0848. They concoct lies, and they are telling you restructuring. You know, there is nothing like restructuring. Since the 40s, 50s, 60s, and they tampered with the Constitution to enable them grip you tight. And we are not seeing it. I don't know what we are looking at. I don't know. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Mazi, Alozie, good morning.
Good morning from here.
Yeah, give me a minute, please. Okay. My name is calling from Plainfield, Indiana. So, I had the video, the clip you played this morning. With you, all of us, you had a deliberate discussion with Mazi, Jonathan, and Mazi Rabbi. Okay, Mazi, I picked something out what Mazi Rabbi said, which I've been saying this for a long time. Do you know before the war, Mazi, do you know before the war, Biafrans were over 15 million in population? Do you know that? And they killed over half, close to 10 million. The 6 million they're floating around, and 5 million and 3 million they went to the lower. These are numbers. But let's be frank. The Biafrans that were killed during the war were close to 10 million. And then the remnant of Biafrans that was left, most of us fled. We're in diaspora. I swear tell you today that Biafrans are in diaspora and those at home are almost the same number. We're all over the place. And God did it for a reason. Because when God wants to destroy a nation, He will give them blind leaders or stubborn leaders. Now, this dude, Nigeria was given 3 opportunities to get it right. By given 3 opportunities, the 3 opportunities. The first one was Ojukwu. The restructuring was given to them in a platter of gold. They blocked everything and killed over 5 million. They massacred just for restructuring. And then, maybe God wanted to forgive Nigeria. Follow my steps. Maybe God wanted to forgive Nigeria and their sins and atrocities to see if they can have some reason. In 2014, Jonathan called for that same Comfort Federation, or whatever they call it, or restructuring. He called on it again. They blocked him. Instead, they kicked him out with all these Janjaweed hybrids all from all over Nigeria now. They used them to kick him out. And guess what? They refused to go because they are now, all of them are on armed now. They're paying them money. Indirectly, they are building their nation. So that was one. They did not see it. They didn't take what Jonathan gave to them until now God gave them a punishment in Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. So this third time, there's no more remedy. They should get it straight. Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. Nnamdi Kanu is the punishment to Nigeria, and they have to. Is either they take it now, let us go peacefully, or they will see the worst. Nnamdi Kanu was born for this reason. And I thank God that he was here right on time to save our race. God is using him judiciously in carrying this assignment. For that reason, it doesn't matter if they brought the restructuring, it doesn't matter if everything, you have the president, we don't want it. We just want to leave us alone. Give us a referendum and let's decide our future. Mazi, thank you so much. Thank you. Bless you.
Bless you too. Referendum. You make the choice. This is part of the democratic process. Referendum. You decide where you want to go. You decide what your future is going to be like. People can't just continue to make laws for you. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Yes, Mazi Alozie.
Ndewo.
Mazi Alozie, don't you go to Kade again?
Wagikwa?
Biafra all over the world, don't you go to Kade and I keep in a little bit. There's a Nnamdi Kanu, there's a Dishika. We have no hope except you. Biafra all over the world, every Biafra, anywhere you are found there, we are there on this planet Earth. Embrace our leader. He is the only way to lead us into our land. There is formidable in every way the world wants it. Anything they tell us to do is what we must do. If the whole world wants us to fight the war, we are prepared to take our land. Anything they want, we give it to them. That's why I know the future. I have only to tell for a big America. Come and just coming and die. I'm going to the side and don't play with that. Oh, yeah, Biafra.
Your line is off. The call number is +1 484 767 0848. We will be ending this broadcast at the half hour and we'll continue. Tomorrow we will look at other things that are floating around. Things they are floating around to confuse you. They make it like a preview. And you buy into it. They are going to tie you up more. If you listen and buy into what they are saying, you will never be free again. That will be the end of you. Why will they continuously listen to what foreigners are telling them? That means they have no mind of their own. You have been doing this thing for many years and cannot progress. Why do you keep doing it? Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Mazi Alozie, good morning, sir, from here.
Good morning.
My name is Mazi. I'm calling from Minneapolis, USA.
Welcome.
Mazi, thank you for good work at the people. My contribution this morning is Nigerian two people died calling for restructuring after raping our 52 women, after killing us since 1900. I like what Rabachar said, that our prophet say like this. What a clean change, can you say one on the way, my friend? Because a traveler see more than all these old men ruling the country. I don't see how British we campaign for British for more than 5 years, and last year they succeeded. And now the Nigerian zoo politicians and Nigerian citizens that watch that BSC. And now the same British is telling them, no, we have to become one in one Nigeria. And tomorrow you want white person to be having equal rights with you. Did the same thing that the British did in the 15th century is what they did last year. Because I thought that BSC will instigate Nigerian youth, everybody to rise up. Say, British, you are not our God. Since you people exist on your own brother that have the same value system with Europe. And now, harmony also be in one country with people that will have different value systems. And the man, our leader, can let us know, no country survive with different value system. All these European countries I see that associated today, they have one value system. The same food that the Texas eat, the same food the Indian eat. And the same way the California people dress, the same way Chicago people dress, the same value system. So they can understand their policy together. But the Fulani woman use cow urine to wash plates. Use cow urine to shower. But we shower in our own water system. Fulani doesn't have, they don't go to school. But we will value education. And yet the people are still believing in that small lady, not up to 50 years, British ambassador in Nigeria, telling us what to be married one. And tomorrow we say they are doing racist. Can't you come out and talk? Can't you all these people come out for one Nigeria? Come out and talk. See now, a noble writer, Wole Soyinka, 2014, save Goodluck. It's worse than the book had made. 2021, say that Nigeria can made itself. It's right there, everybody go their way. And you see some people will be saying, and let us pray. In a church we play, Holy Ghost fire. Who's Holy Ghost fire build Dubai? Europe, you people, all these pastors are going with the private jet. Is it Holy Ghost fire that build it? You know, it's a word for a while. It's better everybody for call. If you can't fight this thing, I wonder how our children come and fight. This generation, we must to break down Nigeria to pieces. Everybody go their own way. So we can do business. Fulani can bring your cow and do business, no problem. But for now, everybody have to go their own way. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you very much. And this is where we'll be ending today's program. We will continue with it tomorrow, the same panel. I want people to be very, very observant. Very, very observant. Our Biafrans in particular. Those that confusion seem to run more in their head other than the rest of the people. I will give you an example of what I'm saying. When people want to divide you, they put out an argument. Biafrans should be more intelligent the way they handle such issues. With regard to things you voice. Who is Igbo? Who is not Igbo? For the generation that are ignorant about the history of the East, anybody from the East, you are Igbo. And I will dive more into this tomorrow, so that this will be a sort of a shot on your arm, and this will lead us to where we're going. The hopeless states, they're hopeless. What if the butcher of you say, okay, like they have the choices, they go back to the regional system? Will you be telling me you're not Igbo? No, you're not. So let us be wise and stop butchering ourselves. Who is Igbo? Who is not Igbo? This is what they put out. They put it out for you to argue, hate one another, have ill feelings, and that will lead you nowhere. You are destroying what our leader is building. You are not doing him any good. You're not helping him. Nobody from Biafra land should be talking about who is Igbo and who is not Igbo unless you are a destroyer. Thanks to all of you, because we'll be on the air again tomorrow, the same panel tomorrow, to finish what we did not finish today. Thanks to all of you for calling in and listening.